The stranger must have seemed incredulous. Incredulous means unable to believe, because everyone was refused him. But here the old man has given lot of importance to him and he has arranged everything. That's why he was incredulous for the old man. He got up and went to the window, took down a leather pouch which hung on a nail in every window frame, and plucked out 3 wrinkled 10 kroner bills. These he held up before the eyes of his guest, nodding knowingly. And not only that, he had shown that 30 kroners to his guest. That means the old man has believed him a lot, and he has shown 30 kroners from his pouch which is near the window. The next day, both men got up in good season. The crofter was in a hurry to milk his cow, and the other man probably thought he should not stay in bed when the head of the house had gotten up. So they left the cottage at the same time. The crofter locked the door and put the key in his pocket. The man with his Rattrap said goodbye and thank you, and thereupon each went his own way. So the next day, whenever the crofter usually got up in the morning session and he went for cow milk, and immediately this guest also woke up, and after some time he locked the door. They went away from the house saying goodbye to each other. But half an hour later, the Rattrap peddler stood again before the door. He did not try to get in. However, he only went up to the window, smashed a pane, struck in his hand, and got hold of the pouch with the 30 kroner. He took the money and thrust it into his own pocket. Then he hung the leather pouch very carefully back in his place and went away. After seeing this 30 kroner, immediately the Rattrap brain has changed. He decided to steal it. That's why after half an hour again he came back, but he did not do anything to the door. Just he smashed the window pane. Pane means a glass. Smashed the window pane. Through that window pane, he has taken the wrinkled 30 kroners. They are wrinkled 30 kroners, and he put in his pocket and he went away from there. As he walked along with the money in his pocket, he felt quite pleased with his partners. He realized, of course, that at first he dared not continue on the public highway, but must turn off the road into the woods. During the first hours, this caused him no difficulty. Later in the day, it became worse, for it was a big confusing forest which he had gotten into. So he only himself praised that he was very smart, because easily he has stolen 30 kroners from the old man's pouch. So that's why he decided to walk on different roads. He decided don't walk on the main road, because maybe he will be caught by some other person. So that's why he entered into nearby woods. Woods is nothing but forest, but it was really a confusion forest for him. He tried to walk in a definite direction, but the paths twisted back and forth so strangely. He walked and walked without coming to the end of the wood, and finally he realized that he had only been walking around in the same part of the forest. So whenever he entered in the forest, first of all everything is okay, but after some time it became worse. Now it was very difficult for him to come out of the forest. Whenever he was moving back and forth here and there, but at last he understood that he was moving just like a circle here and there, unable to come outside. He had let himself be footed by a bait and had been caught. The whole forest with its trunks and branches, its thickets and fallen logs, closed in upon him like an impenetrable prison from which he could never escape. Impenetrable, which is not easily to go out, which is not possible to escape. He became impenetrable prison in that forest. Then he became a bait. That means the bait is here 30 kroners. He became trapped. Now he understood that he was trapped in this world. It was late in December. Now it's December season, Christmas season. Darkness was already descending over the forest. This increased the danger and increased also his gloom and despair. So December, naturally, so in the evening time, so we know that in December season, the night will come early. So that's what he was in gloom and despair, means feeling of unhappiness, and he lost his hope. Finally, he saw no way out and he sank down on the ground, tried to death, thinking that his last moment had come. But just as he laid his head on the ground, he heard a sound, a hard, regular thumping. Thumping means to hit very hard. There was no doubt as to what that was. He raised himself. Those are the hammer strokes from an iron mill. He thought there must be people nearby. He summoned all his strength. Summoned means gathered all his strength, got up and staggered in the direction of the stone. Staggered means walked very difficulty. Now he decided that he was going to die. But whenever he was laid on the ground, he heard some thumping sounds of hammer. Then he understood that there was a factory or there was a forge near to him. So that's what he walked very in a difficult way to reach that factory, and he followed the sounds. The Ramshaw ironworks, which are now closed down, were not so long ago a large plant with smelter, rolling mill and forge. It was called Ramshaw Ironworks. What is the name of that factory? Ramshaw Ironworks. Now it was closed because night time, and it was a large plant with a smelter. Smelter means it will be extract metal from ore. And rolling mill, it was a rolling mill, and it was a forge. Forge means just like workshop. In the summer time, along lines of heavily loaded barges and scows slid down the canal. Barges and scows means just looks like a ship, looks like flat. That means in that, especially in summer season, slid down the canal, which led to a large inland lake. Lot of heavy material will be sent through inland lake on barges and scows. Barges and scows are just like a ship which is used to send heavy material in the water. And in the winter time, the roads near the mill were black from all the coal dust which sifted down from the big charcoal crates. And especially in the winter season, all the roads will be filled with charcoal crates. Crates means layers. Lot of dust due to this factory. Lot of dust will come, and the dust will cover the whole road. It looks like charcoal crates. During one of the long dark evening just before Christmas, the master smith and his helpers sat in the dark forge near the furnace waiting for the pig iron. Pig iron means iron after melting. Iron after melting is called pig iron. Now, in the night time before Christmas, there was a master. His name is Smith. He was a master smith, means blacksmith and master for all. And dark forge near the furnace. They were near the furnace and doing some work. Furnace means a big heavy thing which is used to heat iron, which had been put on the fire to be ready to put on the anvil. Anvil is also a heating. Something will be heated by using anvil. So that's what they were ready, and they were ready to put this on anvil. Every now and then one of them got up to stir the glowing mass with a long iron bar, returning in a few moments dripping with perspiration. Dripping with perspiration means which is very sweating. Though, as was the custom, he wore nothing but a long shirt and a pair of wooden shoes. Every minute, every seconds, after some time they went and they were just mixing with a iron bar. So due to that, they were dripping with perspiration. That means they were sweating, and simply their custom, that means their dressing is a long shirt and a pair of wooden shoes. Totally they were sweating due to that work.